Hi, it's Miss House. I want to talk to you a little bit about how you're going to log into your proctoring system that's going to proctor your assessments this semester. You'll notice I have a few things on my desk. Let's pretend that this is my ID. I don't have it with me, but this is my ID, okay, my picture ID. The number of pieces of paper that my instructor has told me that I can have, so maybe it's 3 or 4 or 5, or maybe there's a printed answer sheet. That information will be provided, but you've got that on your desk. You've got a pen or pencil or whatever writing utensil your instructor says. Of course, you can have your mouse, right? You can have a mouse. You can have your keyboard and your mouse, and you're going to have it all right here in front of you. So you can see that I have my desktop here, and I've got paper. This is my ID. I've got a mouse, and I've got my keyboard, and if it's a laptop, I don't even have to show that, okay? One thing that you will notice is that my desktop is relatively clean of everything. I've got some stuff over here that I would need to get off of the desktop. You want a clean desktop. Whatever's in on there, you need to remove it. So if you don't have a desk, you sit at a table. If you're used to sitting on your bed to take your test, you need to sit on the floor. There needs to be nothing around you, okay? Now, the software, the first thing the software is going to ask you to do is show your face and pause for the camera, and then you'll very carefully show your picture ID. Now notice as I show my picture ID, I can see the area that the camera sees. Well, what I want to do is I want to make sure that the camera is able to see my desktop. And see, right now the camera cannot see my desktop. So after I have shown my ID and it says okay, I'm going to adjust my camera. Okay, if it's a laptop, you've got to pull the laptop down. Okay, you may have to kind of peek in to see the screen, and that's fine. But I'm going to position my camera so that my ID and my pen, my mouse, and my paper is in view of the camera. Okay. Now, one of the things you have to remember is you have to show whatever the number of scratch pieces of paper is noted that you're allowed to have. You have to slowly show the front and the back of all the paper that's on your desktop. So very slowly, flip it over, front and back, slowly, slowly, flip it over, slowly, slowly, flip it over, okay? You've got all your scratch paper, front and back, have been shown. Now, if you're allowed to have an answer sheet, which, again, there will be notes about the test that you have to read and follow, and it may say print out an answer sheet or prepare your paper in a certain way. If that's the case, you'll show the front and back of that and any other scratch paper or blank paper you are allowed to have. You have to be sure you read all the instructions about that. Now, once you have shown your ID and your face and your scratch paper, you're going to do a room scan. And in that room scan, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to show that desktop to make sure it's nice and clean, and you have to pick your laptop up to do that, okay? You're going to do a quick once around on the room, and not quick, actually you're going to do a slow once around on the room, okay? Don't go too fast, okay? Just go all the way around, 360, and then the last thing is you want to show the space beneath your desk right here, all around. Make sure you show your work. Another thing you're going to have to do is show the front of your computer. So see how I have a $1 handheld mirror? You can usually get them for $1 or $2 at Dollar Tree. And somebody in the house usually has one of these, okay? I'm going to use this to just briefly show the front of my computer all the way around. See, I can see my camera, and I can see my keyboard. So I'm just kind of showing the computer and what's on the front of the computer, okay? It's no big deal, but you shouldn't have any sticky notes or anything around the face of your computer or on your keyboard. That needs to be nice and clean as well. So you can just take a quick look at that stuff. Some people will like to go into the bathroom and hold it up in front of a bathroom mirror. That's fine if you have a laptop, okay? But try to make sure that you're showing, you know, there's your paper, your keyboard, and then around the edges of the computer, okay? The main thing is you don't want anything in the testing environment that will cause you to get a 0 on the test. So no notes, no anything, unless your instructor has specifically said you may use notes or a note card or whatever, or formula sheet. Just depends on the class. Okay, now let's talk about hands. While you're taking your test, your hands have to be visible. So I'm going to adjust my camera just a little bit, and it's okay that I can't see your face. You've already checked in. You cannot get up at any time during the check-in process or anything unless you take it to show the front of your computer in the bathroom. That's the only time, but it has to be you the whole time, of course. And then you'll sit in the chair and you'll make sure that your hands are shown. You don't have to have your face. You've already shown your ID. You've already shown your face. We need to see your hands at all times. Okay, while you're working out the problems, I'm going to see you're working out the problems at all times. So I can see your hands, both of them at all times. If you put your hands in your lap, that's a 0 on the test. You must keep both hands on the table at all times. So if one hand is missing, either one, or if one hand is over to the side, or like this up here, okay, or one hand is over here like this, or up here, at any time, if both hands are not visible in the viewing area of the camera, it is a 0 on the test, okay? Your hands must be visible at all times. Now, the exception to that is I need to type in my answer. So I go up here, I'm at the keyboard, and I'm typing in my answer. Now, as your instructor, I'll be able to see that you're typing in your answer because I can see a complete view of what you're doing and what's happening on your screen. So if your hands are up here and you're not typing, I know you might be doing something you shouldn't be doing. So you're going to briefly go up here and you're going to enter your answers. Other than that, both hands have to be visible at all times. Okay? If your hands linger up here and I'm looking at the video and I don't see your hands and I don't see you're typing in an answer, I know there's a problem, and that could be a 0 on the test. So after you have finished your test, before you turn off the camera, you're going to once again show the front and the back slowly of all of your work, okay? And show the front and back of every sheet even if you don't work on it. So front, back, very slowly. Front, back, very slowly. That's going to allow your instructor to see the work that you have done. Now, after you've done all that, you can close out the proctor and close out your test, and you can upload these exact same pages. Now, if you didn't write on the back, you don't have to do the back. You have to show it to the camera, but you don't have to submit a blank piece of paper. You're going to compile these, and there will be instructions on how to do that in the class, and then you're going to upload these as a PDF file into Canvas in a specified place. And all of that will be spelled out in the test module. So you're going to make sure that you read the instructions, you know, exactly what kind of paper you can have and where you should submit it. Now, you only have 10 minutes to submit this work, and in order to get credit for the work. And the work is 75% of the test score. So the answers in the software, whether it be Alex or MyMathLab or even in Canvas, is 25% of the score. This work is 75% of the score. Without this work, upload it in the correct place within 10 minutes. The highest you can make on a test is 25%. Now, I will provide you with information on how to do that and a place where you can practice uploading that work to make sure that you're able to do it in a timely manner. It only takes a few seconds. You just snap those photographs, use an app, it compiles it, changes it to PDF, you email it to yourself, and then you pop that file into Canvas. Okay, if you have any questions about this, I am happy to meet with you and help you set up your camera space. And again, remember, this is what I want to see while you're taking your test. I want to see both hands at all times. Now, if you have a habit of putting your hand in your lap, you got to work on not doing that. Even if you have to write yourself a note and put it on your desk, show both hands. That's okay. You've got to keep your hands in sight all the time. Some people will move their camera. If they have a portable camera, I have seen a few students who will put it over to the side like this, and they'll work their problems like this, and that's fine as well. You may do that as well, okay? But the key is, if either one of these hands is missing at any time, then your test is not valid, because I can't validate that you actually did all the work by yourself, okay? And that's the whole purpose of an assessment, is for me to find out what you know and what you don't know, so I can help you learn the stuff that you don't know. So if you have any questions about this process, and if you're nervous about it, you just let me know and we can go over it. All right, have a good day.